the nomination of the first Muslim American to a federal appeals court judgeship seems to be essentially close to dead. Lawyer Adil Manji, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, got through the Judiciary Committee on partisan grounds or a basis, nominated to be on the Philadelphia U.S. Court of Appeals in the Third Circuit. Republicans went at him hard because he's a Muslim. Yep. And of course, that is still embedded in their DNA as a party.
In December, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Josh Hawley all went after him specifically on racial grounds and were questioning his condemnation of Hamas. I mean, he's not Palestinian, asking him about the October 7th attacks, asking him about a ceasefire letter written by an organization that he was affiliated with, but that he didn't sign. They were clearly racially motivated in the way that they were going after it. And I'm extremely disappointed and shocked to see these Democrats, like in Nevada, that you'll get to in a second, who have seemingly capitulated to that pressure.
Well, Joe Manchin came out against Manji, and then, that's not... But then it was Catherine Cortez Masto who came out against his nomination, and then Jackie Rosen, who is running for re-election.
Masto just won re-election very narrowly in Nevada.
Yes. And this is, the Republicans were saying that he was anti-Semitic because, of course, he's Muslim. Even the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, when the Anti-Defamation League comes out and does not attack a Muslim person, you know that you are out on a limb. But Masto and Rosen said the anti-Semitism claims were ridiculous, but they are coming out and saying that they are objecting to his nomination because local law enforcement groups have a problem with him. He is on the advisory panel of something called the Alliance of Families for Justice, which is a support group for family members of incarcerated people that has called for the release of some individuals who were convicted of killing police officers. One of them was, I guess apparently the organization sponsored a fellowship in the name of Kathy Boudin. She was a member of the Weather Underground. Her son was the district attorney in San Francisco. She's, I think she was released, what was it, like 5-10 years ago? I can't remember now. Not that long ago. And so the idea is that they're using this sort of front of police groups as a way of sinking this nomination. I think Masto came out first to say that she was released in 2003. She just recently passed away last year. Okay, that's what it was. Masto came out and opposed the nomination basically to give Rosen space to do that because she's running in a tough race in Nevada. You've got there's still this crime narrative that's out there, particularly in the wake of like Eric Adams pretending that this was a huge issue in New York and around the country. And I think that's what this is a residual of that. The problem is that the Biden administration doesn't want to sink the nomination of the first potential Muslim federal judge, particularly since that they've been supporting and enabling a genocide or an ethnic cleansing or just the mass murder of Muslims in Palestine, in Gaza. And so that puts them in an uncomfortable position, apparently. The other issue is that if they don't pull his nomination, it will just languish there. And that court is currently, it deals with Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, and the Virgin Islands in a weird twist. It is divided 7-6 in favor of Republican-nominated judges. And placing a judge on that court would put it at 7-7. And the Republicans are using these courts as sort of a way in which they can, particularly now that supposedly there's going to be a little bit less forum shopping, or specific within the context of circuits. They're gonna go for circuits where there's an advantage to Republicans just to play the odds. And so this is a really important seat that needs to be filled. And I would anticipate that the Biden administration is going to pull it at one point. But this is, this is such a tiny downstream indication of just how much Biden is potentially effing up this country because of his blind support for Netanyahu, right? Like, there's we know the implications of, we don't know, but it's not hard to assess that the implications for the election in the fall, based upon Biden's blind support of Netanyahu up to this point, is going to be unhelpful at best. I mean, you have, never mind the direct impact on votes, but the impact on people who are supposedly organizing and get out the vote campaigns and campaigning. I'm sure you've had conversations. I've certainly had conversations with people, people I wouldn't necessarily expect, who are like, it's horrible. It's horrible for us. And then just, this is, I don't know how many other instances are, but the fact is that, like, this guy is being shot down. The administration could just hold his nomination there, but it's not going to pass through in the Senate. And they would otherwise pull this nomination and put somebody else up there so they could get nominated and sit on this court by the fall. But
Biden's in a quandary because of his policy for the past 6 months of embracing this far-right genocidal regime. I mean, he made some sort of calculation, and plus it's clearly ideological for him. He's openly a Zionist and has been one of the most pro-Israel Democrats his entire career. But the fact that he didn't even make the political calculation because he was so emotional about Israel is deeply frustrating because of all of the branches of electoral consequences that we're talking about right now.